Hello everyone, and thank you for joining the webinar. This is the first webinar, so hopefully everything goes really well. If you have any questions, you've got the Q&A board on the left-hand side, and I will return to any questions you have asked. So to start with, what I'd like to do is just explain what we're going to go through on the webinar. So, as you can see on here, the webinar will be going through the basics of setting up QuikPlan, going through staff, clients, the admin, templates, auto wizard, tasks, invoice, and staff pay. So, to start with, what I'd like to do is explain a little bit about more of the staff entry. So, entering the basic staff name and address to get the staff member added into the system ready to set up the pay. And as you can see, all we need to do is click on to the identification and put in staff member's details. This is exactly the same for the clients. Go to the identification. Once you've typed in any information, always remember to click the Save button, and the green plus button is to create a new record. So just very quickly, on the actual QuikPlan system, all we need to do, just click the green plus button, put in the staff member's name, and the address details. So, once you've gone through and you've typed in all your information, all we need to do is click the Save button. That will add the staff member into the system ready to set up the payment. So, going through the next part of the webinar, I'll be explaining about the invoice group and services. So, to start with, all we will be doing is creating up your invoice groups, all the bill payers. So, with this just makes it a little bit easier when you come to do your invoicing. You can invoice and you'll be able to print the invoices off, export them, or email them directly from the system. Once we've created your invoice groups, we're able to create the services that belong to the invoice group. So to quickly show you, going back onto the system, what we will do is go to the admin tab along the top. Click onto Invoice Group and Services on the left-hand side. And in here, this is where all your invoice groups are. So as you can see, we've populated some already for the private clients, for Birmingham City Council, Social Services, and the Worcester City Council. So just to quickly show you, if I go into Services at the top left-hand corner, these are all the services we've previously created. So as you can see by our logic, the private client is using one PC. The one will keep it in numeric order. PC is for private client, and then you'd have your service description name. Then now, you see that we've created some charges. So we selected this Monday to Sunday for the normal day, 5, 10, 15, 20 as charges. Now to create a service, what I will do is I'll quickly go back to the invoice group, select Birmingham City Council, click Services, and as you can see, we've just got one basic service in. So what I need to do is create the morning call. So with this, all I will do is add service on the right-hand side, and then we put in the description name. Now, because we used one for the private clients, we would use 2 for the Birmingham City Council, and put the little codes in to say BCC. From here, you can create this as a morning call. Click New Service and click Yes. And what that will do is it will create the service within this invoice group. Now from here, what we're able to do is put in your charge rates. So if you do charge a flat rate all the way through, select it from Monday to Sunday, and then you can put your rates in. Now once you've set up all your rates, you're able to start building your templates. But whilst we're on the admin page, as I mentioned about the staff pay, it's better to set that up whilst we're here. Now to start with, all I'll do is go to staff pay on the left-hand side, and we can set up the pay. Now just very quickly with this, going back to the webinar, we've got the staff pay. So with the staff pay, you can create the pay for everyone that's exactly the same rate, or make it unique for every staff member. So, just quickly with this, I will show you how to create a staff member's pay. So as you saw, I'll click the Staff Pay tab, and then on here, select the staff member in question. So I've got staff member at the top, and I'm going to add pay rate to staff member down the bottom. Now with this brings up the days that you'd like it to apply on, so Monday to Sunday, and you can put your rates in at £8. All we would need to do is click Save, and that's created a very basic pay rate for the staff member. Now, if you do have an alteration between Monday to Friday, then your pay might be higher for Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to click on the staff member Darren, create a new pay rate, deselect the Saturday, Sunday, and for example, this might be £8 for Monday to Friday. I will add a new pay rate for staff member, deselect Monday to Friday, and then with this pay, this may be £8.50. And all we need to do is save. So that is the very basics of setting up your staff pay. So just very quickly, going on to the next screen, we're going to be talking about templates. Now what you're able to do with templates is you're able to build up all your calls, as you can see on here, and you're able to make the calls unique to each client. So what we're able to do, going back onto the system, we'll go to templates, and if I click search, you will see there are no templates exist. So we've added in a very new client, and what we need to do is we need to choose the client in question. So as you can see, the drop down isn't very big because there's only one client in the list. When you start populating more, that list will grow. And same again, when I go to search, no templates exist. So to create the template for this client, all we will do is go to the green plus button on the left-hand side to add template task. And then we need to go through filling in all the information to do with this client and their call that they need. So to start with, we'll choose the client in the drop-down, and then the service applicable. Now, as you can see, when we create up the services, the numeric order will keep these in a nice tidy list, so it's easy to choose from, especially for the coordinators. And what we can see is this client is going to be a private client, and they're going to have a morning call. So once I've selected the morning call, we would look about the time of the call. So I'll put this in for 9 until 9:30. And this client will have this call every day for week 1 and week 2. Once I'm happy with the information, I click Create Tasks, and that creates the morning call for week 1 and week 2. Now from here, this client may have a lunch call. So all you would need to do, back onto the green plus button, you will see it would already hold the client's name in and the service. So we can change the service to the lunch call, and then put the time in for the lunch call. Now, same again, if you have a client that pays for the morning and lunch care, but their bed may be from the local authority, all you would need to do to create this, go back onto the green plus button, and when you select the service, it would be applicable to the invoice group, whether it's the council or social services. So, once you've built up your template, and you click Save, we would look to assign your staff members. So just quickly showing you on the webinar PowerPoint, assigning your staff to templates. So what we look to do is assign as many staff as you can onto your template that would go to the client on a regular basis. What this will do is it will actually save you time, so you don't keep on assigning the same staff member on the task manager. So as you can see, when we click on Uncover, which I'll show you in a second, you get this staff availability list. So what we will do on the system is we will go through and assign some staff members. So with this morning call that you see at the very top, all I'll do is click onto Uncovered Visit, and this brings up the staff availability. Now, because we've only got the 2 staff members in, as you can see, we've got the choice between the 2. So what I will do, I'll double click on the 3 next to the staff member I would like to assign. And as you see, they're assigned to that visit. Now, you can carry on going through and assigning your staff members accordingly. if you don't know which staff member would cover certain calls, for example this Tuesday here, we would leave these uncovered. And what you're able to do is once you've created these as live tasks, you're able to cover the staff member that will cover the call on that day. So just to quickly show you, going on to how the templates work. So, with your templates, you've got your week 1 and your week 2 template. Now, when we go to create your live visits, this will alternate between week 1 and week 2. So week 1 would create for week 20, the week 2 template would create for week 21, the week 1 template would go back to week 22. So this alternates between the weeks. So you can optimize your template by which staff members may work one weekend on, one weekend off, and etc. So the whole principle about this is to make your life a lot easier. Now, from here, we will be going live. So once you've created all your templates, what we'll be looking to do is start creating your live visits. Now, what I can do is go onto the wizard tab at the top, and on here, we've got auto create your client tasks. Now, what this will do is it will always remember the last time you've created, so your last cycle was for week 2 on the 16th of the 9th, 2018. Okay, and tasks will now be created from the 17th to the 23rd. And if you'd like to go ahead and create these visits, just click yes. And as you see, we've created the 14 calls in a matter of seconds. So, from there, as you can see on here, using the auto wizard will only create live tasks 1 week at a time. By using the wizard, it will always alternate between your week 1 and week 2 template. So, as I've just shown you, going onto the wizard, you've got auto create your client tasks. It will always bring up your last cycle and what it's going to create for. So, going from here, we're going on to your live tasks. So as you can see, you make your live changes, you cancel your visits, adjust the time, swap the staff, and create ad hoc calls if you need to. So, just to quickly show you, because we've run the wizard, I'll go onto the task manager or the tasks, click search, and there are your visits. So as you can see, these are identical to your week 1 template, and from here, we're able to go through and assign the rest of your staff members. Now, once you've finished with your rota for the week, what you would need to do is you'll be looking to print out timesheets. So with timesheets, we've got standard timesheets or detailed timesheets. That would look like this from the system. You can print, export or email from the system. We've also got the online portal, which is staff members can go online and view their calls via their home computer, their smartphone or tablet. As long as it's connected to the internet, they'll always be able to see their rota. And also as well, for the mobile users, we also have the mobile app, which also shows calls for today and for tomorrow. So going from there, what we'll be looking to do is go through the invoicing. So what I'll do very quickly is I'm just going to assign a staff member to the rest of these calls so we can get these calls invoiced. So going through, I'm just going to quickly use the swapping feature, and I'll explain this a little bit more in our next webinar about how you can use more features with the system. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm just creating the calls ready so we can go through and invoice. So now that we've got all the calls here and we're ready to invoice, the first thing you would need to do is select all your visits, right click, task completion and mark as complete. If you don't mark your calls as complete, or if a couple of the visits are not marked as complete, the system won't invoice them because the calls are not ready. So by marking them as complete, you're telling the system that these calls are ready for invoicing. Just remember to click save once you've marked them as complete, and then from here, we're going back onto the wizard. Now what I'll quickly show you is with the invoicing, you can create invoices through the wizard tab, you can create all invoices, or individual invoices depending on the date range you're after. So what we will do is go through the auto create invoices, put in the information through the auto wizard date selection, and then we'll be able to produce some invoices. So to run you through this, all we will do is we go to the wizard tab at the top, auto create invoices, second from bottom. And then on here, all we need to do is select what we need to invoice. So if it's an invoice group that you need to create, whether it's with private clients or your councils or social services, you can select that. Or if you want to invoice everything on the system, make sure that top box is blank. Select the date that you'd like on your invoices. So I'll set that as the 24th, and we're going to invoice for this week. So I'll find by week, and your invoices are created. So from here, you're able to go to the Invoices tab, and we'll be able to search your invoices. Now, going back onto this little webinar, obviously the next part will be staff pay. So, with your invoices, if you want to search your invoices via the date range, the little box at the top, and then click search. And what you'll see is we've only been able to create one invoice for the one client we've got in the system. Now for this, I can click onto the invoice, takes me onto the green screen where I'm able to edit the invoice, but we'll touch that on another webinar. And to preview what your invoice will look like when it's printed or exported or even emailed, click the little magnifying glass on the left-hand side to preview the invoice, and there you are. Now, with this, like I said, we'll go through a bit more on the next webinar on editing your invoice, cancelling your invoice. But to get your invoices out of the system very quickly, this is the best way. Now, from here, because we've just created your invoices, you're going to need to run your staff pay. So going back onto the PowerPoint, what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you and give you a bit of an overview on what we need to do. So you can confirm your staff pay for any date. Once you've chosen your date range, you will see the total amount of hours, tasks and pay. So going from here, what we'll be able to do when we go onto the staff pay tab gives you the option to search what's confirmed or unconfirmed. Because you were going to confirm your pay, we would need to search on what's unconfirmed. Then you'll be able to select the date that you want to search for, and then it would produce your staff pay. So, just quickly going back onto the system, when we go to the staff pay tab, as you can see, it gives me the option to search by staff member or payroll group, and we'll explain that a little bit later. But you've got your task status, whether it's confirmed or unconfirmed. So what I'm going to do is just search what's unconfirmed for week 38, and what this will do is it will populate the staff members that have been assigned to the visits. And as you can see from here, your £8 per hour rate is going through and it's dividing it down to the 30-minute visit, and it's giving the staff member £4 per visit. Now we will explain a little bit more about the mileages and the driving time on the next webinar, but to start with, this is how you can generate your pay, and to confirm your pay so you can generate reports, you've got the green little tick on the left-hand side to confirm staff pay. So by doing this, it will actually fix the tasks on the task manager, so people can't make changes to the calls, swap the staff members or just done, because we've confirmed and run your invoices, it puts a little lock on. Now from here, going back onto the webinar, I'd like to explain just the last little thing before we go. All these on the left-hand side, all the features and options that we've got through QuikPlan. So if you're ever interested in any of these, you can always give us a call via our contact details on screen. So hopefully everyone enjoyed that. This was the first webinar. We will be doing an intermediate webinar. I'm not too sure when, but please look out on your emails for a little link. And yeah, if you have any questions or have any feedback, please do give us a call and we'll help you out as much as possible. Thank you ever so much for joining, and hope you've enjoyed the rest of your day. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.